The elevator story, I feel like it's something a lot of us had heard as like a, ooh, the mall is haunted, also be careful about the elevators. Over the years, it's become a lot more elaborate and like saying the woman fully got cut in half. A little backstory of how I found out this is true. I used to work at the JCPenney in Anchorage, Alaska. This was back in like 2011. There was one day I was leaving work and I didn't want to take the stairwell. It smelled bad and the doors didn't lock to it. It led right out on the street, so you didn't know who you were gonna run into. If you have ever been to this store, there is like a sky bridge that takes you to the parking garage. There's an elevator in that sky bridge to take you to different levels of the garage or to the street. It is that specific elevator. What had happened when I was there in 2011 is I was on the elevator, my coworker was on the elevator, and there was like some random guy on the elevator with us. A lady comes up, the elevator is starting to close, so she sticks her hand out, as most people would. The elevator continues to close, it doesn't stop. We're freaking out, we're pushing all kinds of buttons, it continues to close, and then it gets stuck. Thankfully, it didn't start moving. We hit the emergency button, security showed up, and him and the guy pried open the doors. The elevator was out of order after that, and I never used it again. After that happened, security was complaining about the elevator and saying how the sensors didn't work right on it because it was so old, and then he mentioned how a woman had died in it. And we're all like, holy shit, the story is true. A woman was actually cut in half in the elevator. Not quite. I looked it up and I found quite a few articles, including one in the Seattle Times, which is like the first one that pops up if you search it. It happened in 1991, I want to say like September or something. There was a little 62-year-old woman that was getting on the elevator and she fell. The elevator doors started doing what they did that day I was on the elevator. They started to close. They did not recognize that there was a person in there. People were trying everything to get the doors to open and trying to get her in or out of the elevator, and nothing was working. And then the elevator started to move. The woman ended up getting crushed in between floors. Here is the Seattle Times article on it. Woman crushed to death by elevator, September 30th, 1991, Anchorage, Alaska. And then it does specifically say it was that elevator.